So I know you be feeling like you all alone and you don't always have support and you don't know which way to go. But let me tell you this. The universe is watching you and guiding you along with your spiritual guides and your ancestors. Okay? Everything that you are looking for, you are going to find it by looking inside of yourself. It's not going to be in a relationship. It's not going to be starting that new job. It's not going to be anywhere externally out yourself. It's going to be in the inside. All right, let's get into these codes. So first, we see that, she in the desert. All right, she's on some land. In the sand, it say, look, pay attention, read between. So when I think of desert, I really think of it like, you ever seen a show where they be on a desert and they be stranded and they ain't got no water and it's hot as fuck? That's what I think about when I think about the desert. And so when seeing this card I created, I'm just looking. Okay, y'all. Y'all know I be channeling and sometimes my words be all over, but I'm trying not to, be too down on myself. All right, so y'all work with me. So we got the desert here. And to me, the desert is like hardship, it's trial, but it's also spiritual growth. And I was comparing it to like a TV show. Like, have you ever seen a show where, they're stranded, they're hot, and they're on a desert, they're walking for a long time? That's what this reminds me of whenever I see a desert and just so much land. So how this applies to you is like you feeling like you all alone, you stranded, you abandoned, but whole time you see this whole eye here, this third eye. The universe is watching you. The universe has its hands on you. The universe is like, I'm not letting you fall. I got you. Okay? You just have to have your own sight of this, your own awareness, use your own discernment, and really read between the lines and see the truth. The treasure is inside of yourself. Okay? A lot of people is going through a full third eye activation, meaning you're feeling headaches, you may be falling sick, feeling a lot of hair pressure, and that's just not illness. That's your body reacting to an activation, okay? Because you are growing more spiritually. And we see she have this gold dress on, and we know that gold represents divinity, wisdom, purity, prosperity, and spiritual enlightenment, all right? So all of this is you. All of this is what you're walking into, what you're leveling up to. And then when I look at this picture, I'm getting like Egyptian and native roots. So a lot of you may have like past life dreams of being Egyptian, or you're just really connected to Egyptian and Native American culture. Like, you like to wear the jewels, okay? You like the signs, you like what it represents, and you always just felt like you connected with either Egyptian and native roots. And that's because you are. That's probably because in a past life you actually lived a life as an Egyptian. You actually was a Native American, a part of a tribe. So now in this life, those memories are resurfacing, okay? Especially if you live on a dry land. I'm talking about the people in Arizona, Texas, California, Mexico, Utah, Nevada. If you live dry land, I'm talking to you, okay? Or maybe this is somebody who's been thinking, okay, I want to move to Vegas, or I want to move to Arizona. I want to move somewhere warmer, okay? Or you're here now. So let's move on though. The truth comes when you really start digging for it. So we see all this sand, right? So if you dig, like, you may find some stuff up under this sand, but always remember the real digging is inside of yourself, okay? And then we have a cactus here, which to me represents endurance and resilience. Like, yeah, you may be going through a hard time, but the cactus is showing you where to go. And I'm just picking up on a spiritual download. I don't know how true this is, but I do feel like cactuses are like compasses in a way. Like, it could tell you which way you need to go if you can really read into that. But that was just a channel download, okay? So pay attention to the lands around you as well if you're living on dry land, because I do see some changes within the weather, and I'm gonna be letting you guys know this a lot because I have dreams about changes in the weather. So it's only right that I let you guys know. Make sure you got your survival food. Make sure that everything is up to par and safety for your home, because I do see some new weather changes taking place, okay, in the dry lands areas. It probably already has. But just like in the last reading, I told you guys you have to stand tall because you are God, right? It's the same thing. You got to stand tall. You may not be able to see the air, but you can believe. You can count on that you can breathe, even if you're not seeing that breath coming out of you, right? And that's the same thing with the universe. You may not be able to see the universe. You may not be able to see your guides and your ancestors, but they are still there. And that discernment comes within when you silence everything around you and you actually listen. And your sight is not just what you see visually, it's what you see in your imagination. It's the downloads that you get. It's the self-awareness you have about your spiritual truth. So I just feel like this card overall represents a deep spiritual awakening, a deep transformation. You probably been going through it, okay? I feel like spirit been putting you through the mud, but it's not punishment. It was a trial and a test. Everything that you went through, you had to look, pay attention, and read between. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so we got this picture, and as you can see, it's an elder, and the elder got some ancestors around her, and she got the moon behind her. Okay, so this is a really deep photo. So basically, an elder could be praying over you, protecting you spiritually, and this could be a spiritual mother, and she can be either dead or alive. So, excuse me, this could be your grandma who always got the praying oil, or the grandma who passed away, or your great auntie, somebody heavy in the church, or someone who's just very spiritual and have a lot of wisdom, okay? But your ancestors are really trying to get through to you right now through your elders, through your mama, your daddy, your aunties, uncles. It is 2:11 as I'm saying this. I see that people have been trying to give you advice, and the ancestors, even through children, the ancestors has been speaking through other people, trying to get to you and tell you what you need to do, but you have been stubborn. I'm not gonna lie. And look what it say. It say be grateful for spiritual truth. Let it knock you off your feet. So if somebody tell you some shit, you, even if you don't want to hear it, but it sound like the truth, you need to take it. Don't be all stubborn like, oh, I don't need to hear that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Sometimes you don't like who the message is coming from or how it was delivered, but the ancestors gonna come through, baby. They gonna come through. All right. So I also see that the ancestors, as you can see, she got her hands lifted up. It's like your ancestors, they're not giving up on you, but they also like, hey, let's step back. I'm gonna step back, and you see that book that's gravitating from her and shining through her chakras. She like, listen, I got a book of wisdom in me. I didn't live life before. I didn't already live through it. That's how I can even tell you this. So I gotta lift my hands up, and I gotta let you live within divine order and free will. But that doesn't mean that your ancestors giving up on you. They still backing you. They still there. They still cheering you on. But they also want to remind you that you need to listen, okay? Even when you full of shit. Even when you not doing what you're supposed to do. They still there. You've been wondering why shit been happening the way it happened. Like, say, if you just knew that wasn't supposed to happen that way, but I got out of that. That was luck. No, that was your motherfucking ancestors working through praying mothers, or working through the people around you to get through to you, and you are divinely protected. All right, and you need to take notice of that. So let's talk about what's happening in silence. So let's look at the water. Now we see that it's somebody in the water. We see that it's somebody behind her own land. And basically something is deep in the water. Something is behind you. But don't go back for it. The very things trying to lock you away and restrict you is what you keep trying to go back to. So stop swimming back, okay, and swim forward. For some reason, I'm thinking of a whirlpool. See, I never experienced this. I only like heard it on in movies, and I'm kind of like channeling and downloading something. What is that? You know how like it's like a river or a lake, and it's really deep. And if you swim towards a certain body of the water, you can get trapped inside it. Even if you can swim in it, even if it's like the height requirement is not deep, you can still swim down and go down to the bottom. I'm gonna have to Google that, but that's a download that I'm getting right now. That if you try to swim back, you right now you in the water, right? But you in a good spot. Like if you go with the flow and you go forward, the flow is gonna get you all the way to the end. But if you turn around, you going against the fucking flow. So what you think gonna happen? You gonna drown? You gonna sink? So much shit is gonna happen. So just go with the flow, right? Let them people drown. Don't go back and save them. The people that is going through their karma and they like calling you, friend, I need this, or babe, I'm going through this. Fuck them people, okay? They had their chance to do right. They had their chance to do right by themselves too. Your problem, they other people's problems is not always your problem. It's never really your problem unless you make it your problem. So don't make it your problem and move with reason, okay? And angel number 111 is significant. Okay, so let's see. We going with the flow. We finding our reason. We know that almost doesn't count. So also, I want to point this out. We see that somebody is behind her. He could either be drowning or swimming towards her. And then we see somebody that's on the land. These are people that want your energy, right? But you gotta come to me because I ain't coming to you. And then if you come to me, who's to say I even fucking want you? Because almost doesn't count. Just because you swim halfway to me, nigga, don't mean that I'm about to turn around and meet you halfway. No, I'm already going. I'm moving with flow. I'm not going against it. So why the fuck will I go back? Okay? So that's what you have to keep in mind. Now we see her holding a loaf of bread. I know y'all like, why is she in the middle of the ocean holding a loaf of bread? Let's talk about it. So, honey wheat bread, the bread of life, having enough to give, community, and this also is communion. Now, I'm seeing some people get saved. Either you going back to Christianity after being like deeply spiritual and non-religious, or maybe you breaking out of spirituality and you have your own meaning of communion, right? But this bread also represents the support that you have from the universe, okay, and the guidance that you have for the universe, and the follow through and the discipline you have for the universe, because you like, I got this loaf of bread. I could go back and share it with these people, but what if I drop the bread, it gets soggy, none of us can eat it because I'm trying to go back? What is my reason for going? Is it anything back there for me? No, it's not. So I'm going to move forward with what spirit has for me, and the people who I attract, who are deserving of this bread, I will share it with. But I'm not going back and I'm not sharing no fucking bread with people that gave me crumbs. And it's 2:22 as I say that, so you know I'm not fucking lying. Like, come on now. We gotta be smart. Alright, so truth, let it fly. Now you see, you in front of this brick wall, right? The brick wall is blocking your abundance from flourishing. And let me tell you why. Because we see the birds, we see some of them jumping out the portraits, we see the butterflies. They can move, they can fly to the other side, right? And you just letting it go to waste. You letting it go to the other side while you just stay here crying because it's a brick wall in front of you. But you built that wall, and the same way you built it is the same way that you could tear it down, okay? So you've been restricting your own freedom by not tearing the wall down or even taking the steps to see what's on the other side. Because as you can see, the birds and shit is flying to the other side. So it gotta be something on the other side, and you still back here. All right. So that tells me that you've been going through some trust issues. You can't trust easily, even when you like look at these portraits. Look at it. If you look, and if you like have the type of eye that I have, those are not even really portraits. It's like a see-through to the other side to let you know that the other side you could attract, you could get there. You just don't believe that it's real because you've been a victim to believing what's wrong. Everything that was wrong you believed, and you don't have to do that no more, okay? Um, you need to stop feeding negativity and crying over the past, because you want the birds to come to you. You just like, come to me, come to me. And they're just like, bitch, it is, and I'm sorry for my language. I'm so sorry. The others, the birds is just like, come with us, okay? Let it fly. Let us fly. Come with us. Let us lead you. You could either tear down this wall, kick it down, whatever. It's all an illusion, though. Like, you think it's a wall in front of you, but it's not. You're creating the wall with your mind and how you think, okay? And Spirit is also telling you to trust that everything is working out for you. And birds may be very significant around this time. I hear birds talking to you. You hearing birds early in the morning, seeing rare birds. So just keep that in mind. And I also sense that you have two male energy ancestors watching over you. First of all, they got the wrong one, okay? That's what this card is saying. They got the wrong one. So let's get into it. So first of all, people are faking to get close to you. They're being very performative. Like, what I'm picking up on is people like, oh, I can't stand that. Like, I don't like them. But they telling other people this, but yet they always in your face, being nice, being fake. Why is that? Like, you don't like me. You talk about me behind my back and sometimes to my face with underhanded comments. You lie on me, but yet you still in my energy. Like, make it make sense, okay? So let's get to the lies. You have been lied on. People have been lying to you, but especially lying on you, saying things that's not true, pointing the blame on you, saying they did it, and it wasn't even you, or they're just blaming you for stuff that's going on in their life. And it's 2:34 as I say this. They got people looking at you crazy over stuff that they created, and they just putting the blame on you, and it's all false. It's all false. Someone is misplacing and projecting their emotions on you. If we see this cat, right, I'm feeling like they want to be a copycat. Like, they talk about everything that you do. I can't stand the fucking shit that this person do. However, I try to take some of the shit that they do, or all the shit, and make it into my own and try to mimic them, but yet I can't stand them. They have inspired me, but yet I can't stand them. Like, it be that type of weird shit that you be going through with people, right? But don't even trip. I see we got stay archived right here. And I feel like for you, that means just keep shit in the cut. Just observe. You know, just file shit. File when people do shit. I'm not saying count all the favors that you give out, or excuse me, count everything that happens between you and the person, but still file the shit that people do. Put it in your files, right? And some of the shit, like your sauce, file that too. Archive that. Not everybody should have access to your brokenness, and that's what's going on. People have access to your brokenness, and then they going and talking about you and adding more to the shit based off a biased opinion, and people making you look broken. But do you not see that you drip down in the Gucci? You not giving a fuck. Your third eye is popping, your aura is gold, and your environment is the only thing that's fucked up. But you got this daisy next to you, so if you just walk ahead a little bit, you gonna see a different path, and you don't have to stay in this situation where people are poking at you and making you to blame and putting on a show, because you're not putting on the show. You really being what's real, and that's why you manifest the shit that you manifest. And they say they don't fuck with you, but really want your love, but don't know how to communicate that in a healthy manner, so they misplace all their emotions on you, and that's not fair. Alright, Spirit is warning you. It's time to focus on you and really look within. Be patient, trust timing, protect your frequency. Let's look at these codes. So as you can see, it say be mindful. You got somebody, trying to tap into your energy, trying to get into your wave. Alright, on the other side, it say wait. You got people that's probably trying to pressure you, or trying to stop you, or trying to hold you back. And this is where you have to protect your frequency and not let motherfuckers get too close. It's a lot of entities, a lot of spirits, a lot of other people's demons trying to attach to you. Yeah, your ancestors are still like, hey, we hidden in the shadows. We here. We got you. But at the same time, you got to also have your own discernment and say, no, y'all can't come play in my fucking energy if you don't get the fuck back. Like, you really, that's how you got to be with people, But As of now, be patient. Don't rush into anything. Understand your own lessons and understand yourself so that you can understand the more that comes to life. Okay? And then you remember that like 2 pictures ago, um, with the birds and the wall. As you can see, it's a brick wall here. So you finally got to the other side. Just like I was telling y'all in the beginning of the reading. You finally got to the other side. You finally got this far. Why the fuck would you go back for other motherfucking people? That's not worth your time. Why? Okay? Absolutely not. So, someone or a group of people or multiples is trying to attack you either spiritually, physically, emotionally, or mentally, and this is the time for you to protect your energy. Say your affirmations, light your candles, pray, whatever you got to do. But most of all, ground yourself. Control your own wave and don't let it be controlled. So, thank you guys. That is your, what, Spirit says or Ancestors Ancestor says reading. I do thank you guys for supporting. Please make sure you join the Patreon. And you give me some comments and donations, all that good stuff. I love you guys and thank you for supporting me.